Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are wondering why I have this large bottle of water next to me, I will explain this in a few seconds, in a minute or so. Before I do that, let's scroll through the topics that I have for you today. A lot of news, of course, and we are just getting started, right? CIA confirms suspension of intelligence sharing with Ukraine. Washington bans Britain from sharing any US military intelligence with Ukraine. Poland confirms United States has suspended military aid to Ukraine. That is about the military equipment crossing the border from Poland to Ukraine. Next, American weapons have stopped moving across the border. So this is the topic here with Poland and Prime Minister Tusk announcing that. Also, US suspends cyber operation against Russia. But before we go into details with those topics, and then into a short video from US-Mexican border and some statements from Tulsi Gabbard, which I would really like to play for you. I want to start with this. I came across the video in which EU leaders are fearing Europe's security architecture might collapse without US. So let me show you this. That's why this bottle is here. I tell you why. Let's see. Where do we have this, everyone? Right here. Defense spending is becoming a fixed cost. We have switched off the sun and now we need to pay every day for the heating. Every day you need to pay for ammunition, at least for several years, until Trump is dead. Wow, what a statement. One of the European diplomats told Politico. I don't know who that diplomat was. If you know, please put in the comments down below. But as I was scrolling down, underneath this video, I found this comment, and it was from a Polish viewer, which is fantastic. It was originally in Poland, like this. I will read you in Polish first, so you have some fun. Nikt nie wygra z Europą, bo mamy na stałe przymocowane nakrętki do butelek PET. Okay, let me read you this. No one will win against Europe because we have caps permanently attached to PET bottles. Okay, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I could not stop resist. You know why? Since July last year, 2024, something like this took place in the European Union. I'm laughing because this is one of the things, and I hardly ever use the word hate. I don't like the word hate, so I try not to use it at all. I use different words that describe the emotion, but this I really hate. So let me show you what he's talking about. This is European Union. This is Europe you cannot conquer, right? Because of those caps. Each plastic bottle since July last year has this. Let me show you. It's pain and the bleep when you're opening it, okay? Those who live in the United States, you have no idea. Something like this happens, and then you have to pull it like really hard in order to remove it, okay? Sometimes this is really sharp and it cuts your fingers and it's very, very uncomfortable. And this is all due to, like, you should not remove it at all. Like, this should just be hanging because, you know, environment, right? The most annoying thing, and I know some people who absolutely hate it. I'm not the only one. Most people I talk to, they hate it because this part remains that is really sharp and it just drives you crazy. That's why I started the video with this, because this is the Europe you cannot conquer, everyone. If you have those cups, that's it. You're the victor. Okay, so let's start with the news. Let me read you the first info here that I prepared for you. So, CIA confirms suspension of intelligence sharing with Ukraine. On March 5th, that was yesterday, Washington has brought all intelligence sharing with Ukraine to a halt. CIA Director John Ratcliffe confirmed to Fox Business on Wednesday. The development came just a day after several American media outlets reported that the US had suspended military assistance, including both the purchase of the new weapons and shipments already in progress. When asked whether the US had cut off its operation with Ukraine, Ratcliffe said that US President Donald Trump had asked for a pause to see if Kiev was ready to work towards resolving the conflict with Russia. President Trump had a real question whether Zelensky was committed to a peace process. That's what Ratcliffe said, claiming that the halt to assistance and information sharing contributed to Zelensky publicly stating that he was ready for peace. Next thing we have, Washington bans Britain, this is also from yesterday, from sharing any US military intelligence with Ukraine. So MI6, I guess. The United States has banned Britain from sharing intelligence from Washington with Ukraine as part of its withdrawal of support for Volodymyr Zelensky. Donald Trump's decision to freeze American military aid to Kiev yesterday brought warnings that Ukraine could run out of weapons in as little as 2 to 3 months line. But on the top of missiles and ammunition, all UK intelligence agencies and military outlets also received an order expressly forbidding the sharing of US-generated intelligence, previously known as REL, UKR, so this stands for Ukraine, short for, oh, this is hard for me to pronounce, releasable to Ukraine, I think. Sorry, guys. The Mail has learned that the top-level security classification has now been removed by the United States, pending further notification. The ban affects the likes of the UK's GCHQ, the spy agencies and intelligence branches of the Ministry of Defense. So MI6 is still going, right? I don't think this is going to change because, you know, that's how they run the show. But now let's go to Poland for a moment. This is from 2 days ago. Is it? Yeah, I think it's from 2 days ago. So right here, Polish Prime Minister says this, confirming that American weapons are no longer going to Ukraine. They are stopped, I think, in Poland. The reports that are coming from the border, from our hub in Jesionka, the name of the place, confirm the announcement of the American side, said Prime Minister Donald Tusk about the US suspension of military aid to Ukraine. Quoting him, today the decision was announced to suspend American aid to Ukraine and perhaps to start releasing Russia from sanctions by the American side. There is no reason to think today that these are only words. Besides, the reports that are coming from the border from our hub in Jesionka confirm the announcements of the American side. Okay. So now my question here is, I will attach this article down below in the description box. My question here is, with this administration, I believe that that weapon that was already sent to Ukraine through Poland, probably stuck in Poland now, I hope is going back, right? What's going to happen with the ammunition and the weapons that's supposed to reach Ukraine, but they will not reach Ukraine? On the topic of cyber operation, I have one more news for you here, guys. I think ultimately everything will go back as it used to be as far as YouTube in Russia and things of that nature. But there's one more thing about cyber attacks on Russia. So, US suspends cyber operations against Russia. The order was reportedly given before last week Trump-Zelensky disastrous meeting at the White House. Well, I didn't know this, so here I am, a little bit late with the news. The Pentagon has ordered a halt to offensive cyber operations against Russia, multiple media outlets reported on Monday. So it's good to know. Now let me take you to the Mexican-American border. Oh no, before we go to Marco Rubio, because he made a statement, and this is a pretty recent one, when he openly says this. President Trump views this as protracted stalemate conflict, and frankly, it's a proxy war between nuclear powers, the United States, which is helping Ukraine, and Russia. I mean, can you imagine statements like this just a few weeks ago? I don't think you could, but here they are. Now, let's go to the border, everyone. I've watched this yesterday, but I want to just play a short clip from Tulsi Gabbard. Why is that? You know, I had some awareness of how bad the situation was in the United States with illegal crossing the border between Mexico and US. When I left United States, it was the beginning of 2022, to be exact, March. So exactly 3 years ago. Soon it will be 3 years. It was on March 12th, I remember that. I went back to Poland, and I already saw what was going on being reported, you know, even though they were trying to hide it. But those 3 years were just absolutely insane. And what Tulsi Gabbard is talking about here is very dangerous thing. And I think you remember about 2 videos ago, I have showed you an article from TASS, and that was article about President Trump post on Truth Social, in which he was saying that instead of focusing on Putin, on Vladimir Putin, they should focus on situation inside United States and how dangerous it is, and the fight with cartels, rapists, and all other criminals. So let me play this clip for you. I will mute myself, and then I'll be back in a sec.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for your leadership and bringing the country's attention to what has been happening here at the border and the significant change that has already occurred under the short time that President Trump has been in office. Really, what you're seeing here today and what you'll continue to see is a unified effort across President Trump's national security team, the Department of Homeland Security, towards our mission, which is to ensure a safe, free, and prosperous society for Americans. As Director of National Intelligence, there are a number of areas where we are focused. The president talked about in his speech, over 21 million people have come across our borders illegally under Joe Biden's administration. There are many of them that we don't know who they are. They have not been vetted. We don't know where they are. I'll give you one quick example of one of the problems that we are getting after. From Central Asia, there were over 4,000 people who came across our borders using an ISIS-affiliated network. Our National Counterterrorism Center went through and identified those individuals. There were hundreds of them who were either known terrorists or associated with known terrorists. That information was provided to the Biden administration. You may remember in some of the news, a little over 100 of those people were arrested in 2024. Of those who were arrested, only 8 were either deported or remained in custody. Only 8. The rest of them were released back into our country. Where are they? What are they doing? What may they be plotting? This is just the beginning. There are many, many areas that we need to stay very focused on, working with Department of Homeland Security, working with the FBI to ensure that we're keeping the American people safe. Our Counterterrorism Center is working on making sure that we have that single source for vetting so that we can figure out who is actually in our country and identify those who pose a threat and get them removed. The president's designation of the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations falls directly into this, especially as we're seeing some of the tactics that these cartels are using reflect some of the tactics that we've seen used by Islamist terrorists in countries that many of us have served in overseas. Our mission is very clear. Our objective is to keep the American people safe. I'm grateful to be a part of this team that President Trump has assembled to accomplish that mission. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, so 4,000 of those very dangerous people, well, creatures, crossed the border. 100 was arrested. 100 was caught. No, arrested, 100 was caught and arrested. Only 8 of them remain in a situation where they were deported, and the rest stayed in the country. So we have 3,992. This is crazy. You know, this is the same scenario, destroying a country from within. I would like to ask you your thoughts on this. Clearly, you can tell, those of you who are following it, majority of my viewers is from United States. You're very aware of the situation and what Tom Homan, who is the border czar, is doing as far as protecting the border and finding those people and deporting them. I would like to ask you, how, in your opinion, how long it will take to completely be in a position of secure country? I just would like to know your thoughts. We are about, what is it, a month and a half, a little bit more than that, in Trump's presidency. Do you think this year this will be under control, or do you think this will take a long time? Because those are very dangerous people. They are already in the country, and God only knows, right? Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. The links will be attached down below in the description box. I would like to ask you if this brings you any value, anything you appreciate. If this video gives you anything you appreciate, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have Instagram, make sure to follow me there. It's right here. As you see, I'm moving the arrow. It's AniaK_44. This is more personal Instagram with my personal travels. But if you go on the stories here, I always announce new videos, and sometimes I share political videos as well in the stories right here. So with this being said, also, if you choose to support my work, please become my Patreon. It really helps content creators to keep on going, or my local supporter, or you can also be a member of my channel, and that is the membership for $2.99 per month in dollars, US dollars, or you can donate to my PayPal. With this being said, lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. See you in the next video. Bye, everyone.